Good afternoon, good people. Good afternoon, followers, my followers. I'm glad that I have you. Um, um, I've been doing this series of Who Are They? Where Are They? Um, this series is much conducted in isiZulu, but decided to now use English version so that everyone is accommodated. Unfortunately, I'm not subscribing or a member of subscription of YouTube. Hence, I don't know exactly who are my followers, but you know what? Sometimes to enhance the availability or the ability to be heard by many people, English is the most spoken English, especially in South Africa. Hence, I will conduct um, some of these series in English so that everyone will be accommodated. So far, I will do the introduction that is on YouTube already, but now using English version. So here we start. Okay, who are they? Where are they? And what are they? The introduction. The history that follows the origin of the world and the life of human being by the nation of the world and the history of human being is in the Bible. The Bible is only a holy book, but it contains the history of events uh, brought by the nation of Israel in their context. Most of the stories listed in the Bible can be found in the history taken by other historians from other countries. After the sin of human being in the Garden of Eden, there was an increase in the population basically. We do not hear anything about Cain after he was banished from the face of the earth for killing Abel, but we believe that he did not die. He married and gave birth to sons and daughters, and they became a nation. This history in the Bible, the history in the Bible focuses on the Hebrew nation, which makes us think that it is only them who lived, but during those periods. Here we hear about the nation of Egypt. Well, who is this tribe? We don't even hear how we came from, how we came into being. What if we came from son of Adam? Maybe because he was the first person on earth. I'm talking about Egypt because it is the only nation that is still alive in our lifetime. We hear about Philistines, the tribe of Moab, the Amorites, but who were those nations? Where did they go? Today we hear about France, Germany, America, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Nigeria, Afghanistan, etc. Where did those countries come from? We just ask ourselves, but those questions. What about South Africa? Who they come from? In the context of the Bible, the Zulus, where they come from, in the content of the Bible. Have you ever done research on the origin of the Zulu nation? If I say you are from Ghana or maybe from Tanzania, what would you say? If I say that Africa was the one of Abraham's sons, what would you say? Like we know that Abraham also had what do you call a servant or no, a wife, Ketura. Then Ketura bore Africa, and then now we called Africa through that wife of Abraham who was Ketura. That's the question I'm trying to ask here. When I'm talking about the Zulus, maybe probably you might the my followers will not be like Zulus, but I'm giving an example of the Zulus because when I was writing this, I was writing for For my congregation and for my church parish actually, these series are mostly directed to them, trying to discuss the Bible. But if you are not a member of the church, so don't feel offended or feel left out. Let's continue. The thing that makes the history from the Bible powerful for me is that it's because it was written by a nation by a nation which says it was God chosen, or God chosen as His children and His nation. Abraham is the ancestor of that nation, but its expansion was through Jacob, who is also known as Israel. 12 nations have come from his children, who were 12 from 2 wives and the maidservants of his 2 wives. In the end, the nation of Israel was divided, rebelled against each other, and became 2 nations, the tribe of Judah and other who call themselves Israel, and the kingdom of the north. These are the last ones. It is them we're hearing about when they are captured by the Syrian tribe. It is the tribe of Judah and Benjamin that still exists to keep their identity until now, yet they were known as the kingdom of Judah or the king of the south. Yet rumor says the tribe of Benjamin escaped and joined their brother in the northern land when the tribe of Judah was destroyed by the Romans. The nation of Israel did not disappear completely after the captivity of the Assyrians. It is this knowledge that makes research writes extensively about this nation that disappeared from the face of the earth. The thing that makes us unable to hear about it is because the writer or the compilers of the Bible did not have knowledge about it, as they are not in the scrolls from the Bible. It means that nothing is known about it. However, historians, which are not Bible writers, have published rumors or numerous stories that trace the nation of Israel after their captivity. There's a difference between Jews and Israel. Most stories are about the nation of Judah, their captivity by the Babylonians, life in the captivity, and their return to the Jerusalem. This new reconstruction of world rulers like Nebuchadnezzar, Darius, up until the time of Caesar's rule, when at the time when Jesus was born. If we talk about the oppression of the tribe of Judah, that doesn't mean that the only Jews who were oppressed. For example, during the time of Caesar, the world was under the rulership of Romans, that stretched all the way to parts of Africa like Libya. Each nation was fighting for its independence, and the Jews did the same, fighting their wars to get out of the slavery of Romans. They were not only ones who were enslaved by the Romans. Before the Romans, it was the Greeks. If you are familiar with Alexander the Great, before the Greek, it was Persia and Medes, ruled by Xerxes, yes, who was the son of Darius the first, or the second, sure. And before that was the Babylonians, ruled by the Nebuchadnezzar. Some rulers you will not hear about because they are not listed in the Bible. These nations ruled all the existing nations in succession, depending on which nation had the courage to rebel against another, conquer it, then conquer the others. At the end, ruling the whole world. Sometimes other nations would not dare to raise arms, but to worship or pay tribute with what was precious to them. If that king is satisfied, then there will be no need to fight wars. The scenario occurred into the nation. They used to pay so much of the tribute so that they could not fight for the sake of saving the nation. This proves that part of the Bible is the history book, written for Hebrew nation, the chosen ones. Jews are only the descendants of Jacob, they're still alive and known. Yet Jacob had other 11 sons that are not appearing in the Bible. Hence, they are said to be a lost nation. They are said to be the 10th lost tribe of Israel, yet there were 11. If you want to know more about this, Google 10 lost tribes of Israel and you will learn more about what we will discuss here. We will start by talking about Jews, which many Christians get confused with the tribe of Israel. This will help us to understand well about the nation of Hebrews. Yet the Hebrew word ceased to exist after Jacob begot his 12 sons. They were then known as the children of Israel, being narrowed down. You will hear about the nation of Israel all the way from Exodus. The whole of the world, the whole of the Old Testament. There are also instances when Israel is mentioned. The 10 lost nations are mentioned, not the Jews or Judah. It is New Testament. In the New Testament, we will hear about the Jews a lot. That is not a mistake. And the nation of Israel is not mentioned because the New Testament is about the nation of the Jews. Christ was born in the tribe of Judah, not in Israel. And there are times when Jesus himself talked about the Jacob's lost tribes, that they exist, or lost children. The Christians and the religion of Christians originate from the Jewish nation or Jewish nation. Not all the Jews converted to Christianity. As for the history, the religion founded by 12 Jews who were disciples of Jesus extended to other nations like Greeks and Romans. It was interspread throughout the nation or throughout the nations. And now, even in South Africa, we have Christianity. We are the Christians. So far, is this the end of the series of the episode 1, which is said to be the introduction. The other series will follow. I'm sure that where you couldn't understand or pick up pick up the meaning of some words, it's gonna be easy now to find out or to now understand exactly what I am trying to discuss here. But we'll continue up until the end. For now, maybe normal introductions used to be very vague for people, for other people. So, but as you continue listen or follow the series, or follow the episodes, you'll have a grasp of what about the content of the series, what it's all about. So even when I'm reading the books, normally the introduction really is confusing. You only get the information, you only grasp when you are towards the middle of the book. Then now maybe go back to the introduction. I don't know if it's happened to me only, but normally it happens to me a lot when I fail to understand completely the introduction. I have to go back later. Like even my movie. When the movie starts, sometimes you don't even get what they're talking about. Even the series. First episode of the series is one confusing because you don't understand what's happening. But maybe you want about that series or that episode or the 6th episode, you can even go back and try to now to catch up with, to exactly what is really happening here. So good people, let me not talk too much about this. We will have more discussions in the second episode up until the last episode. The last episode is 22nd episode. This is the first introduction of the first episode. This is introduction. So we'll move on up until we get to the last episode of the 22nd. So stay tuned. Thank you for listening. and thank you for following me.